I'm Jesse Mez, Associate Professor of Neurology, Co-Director of Clinical Research for the CTE Center, Associate Director of the Alzheimer's Disease Research Center. My research interests include clinical pathological correlation in chronic traumatic encephalopathy and understanding risk for CTE, including exposure to repetitive head impacts and genetics. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy is found almost exclusively among individuals who have been exposed to repetitive head impacts, either from contact sports, military exposure, intimate partner violence. Up until a few years ago, we didn't really know who was at risk for this disease. And since the mid-2000 teens, we have been able to model very carefully who is at risk and understand better who is at risk. So, for instance, among American football players, we've shown that with each additional year of football play, the odds of developing CTE increase by about 30%. We've now expanded on that to not just look at years of play, but to project helmet sensor data onto our brain donors, such that we know that both the number of hits as well as how hard those hits are impacts risk for this disease. And then you can have two individuals who have very similar repetitive head impact exposure. So, for instance, two wide receivers, both who played for 10 years, let's say. One who goes on to develop the disease and another who doesn't. Or one who has very mild disease while another has very severe disease and ends up passing away from end-stage dementia. So it seems like there are other risk factors at play besides just repetitive head impacts. We recently showed that the gene ApoE, and specifically the E4 haplotype, seems to be associated with CTE severity. For instance, among older individuals, the E4 allele incurs similar risk as playing as much as 8 years of American football. We're now looking at other genes like the MAPT haplotype and subhaplotypes. We're also looking at other sports like ice hockey.